Hi everyone, we'll just be starting the session very soon. We're just waiting for everyone to join in, and I hope you guys are staying indoors, working from home, trying to take all the precautions necessary. Times are challenging, but I'm sure we'll all be able to pass through this. Sanitization is very important, especially the kids at home and the elderlies. So I hope that you guys are taking due care of yourself. So for those of you who are joining in for the first time, I would like to tell you what Puneet Gupta Crafted Fine Goods is. Puneet Gupta Crafted Fine Goods was a seed that was sown a couple of years back. We've always felt that we've always felt on the we've always felt on the concept of being local, which is an Indian brand with international aesthetics, and that's why Puneet Gupta Crafted Fine Goods was formed. We always feel that India should have a brand of its own, a brand which narrates a certain story, which celebrates Indianness, which celebrates things around us, which celebrates the Indian craft, the rich culture and heritage that we have. So taking a leap forward, in this big movement of ours, we present to you Royal Heirlooms. So Royal Heirlooms is essentially bringing in stories and bringing in anecdotes and bringing in a lot of interesting facts and products and experiences from the forts, palaces and havelis of Royal India. So we'll be actually going up close and talking and actually sharing experiences, stories, and understanding what our Indian royals have been doing, talking to the erstwhile Royal Indian families, the young prince and princesses of today in the new modern India. A lot of them are torchbearers of various causes, and a lot of them are working with different mediums, with different crafts. Some of them are into politics, some of them are into art, some of them are into fashion, some of them are homemakers. So they have their own stories to tell. But within these stories, we'll find some interesting fun facts, and we'll find where real India relies. So today I'm going to be talking to someone who is an extremely energetic and a young princess from the princely state of Pratapgarh. So Pratapgarh is in Uttar Pradesh, and of course we'll get to know a lot more about her as we take the session forward. So the lady of the movement I'm talking about is Mriganka Kumari. So we'll be joining in soon, and we'll be chatting with Mriganka, trying to know her, trying to understand how her life's journey has been so far, and let's see what this princess has to say. So we'll just connect with her, and we'll start the session. Royal Heirlooms, I'd like to explain you a bit more about Royal Heirlooms as well, meanwhile Mriganka is joining in. So Royal Heirlooms is actually a royal narration. So Royal Heirlooms as a concept is not just about experiences. We'll actually give you a chance to, for you to be able to shop from the royals too. So the whole concept is, it is made by the royals. It is crafted by the royals. Different products from different parts of the country, especially handcrafted, curated, designed by the Indian royals in association with Puneet Gupta. So I think that's a fabulous thing. So we have Mriganka here. Hi Mriganka, how are you?
Hi, Puneet. Good evening. How are you?
I'm very well. And greetings of the day.
Okay.
Welcome to the show. How are you
Thank you
doing,
for having me,
Mriganka?
Puneet. Thank you so much for having me. This is going to be fun.
Great. So for those of you, so this is the first live chat Mriganka is ever doing, and
Yes,
we
please.
are
And I
very thankful.
apologize in advance.
We are very thankful to Mriganka to accept this and to do this with us, to speak to us. Very sweet of you. So Mriganka, where are we? Where are you calling from? Where are you currently?
Right now, Puneet, I'm in Lucknow. So I was back home in Pratapgarh. Most of the lockdown, I've been spending a lot of time back home. My
Okay.
parents, my sister, we all were there together. So it was nice. But I've recently come to Lucknow to do some work because now the lockdown is easing out.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, right now here for a bit.
Okay. Okay. So, what were you doing during your lockdown? How did you spend this entire time frame of two and a half months? What was lockdown like for you?
Well, Puneet, to be very honest, it has been a very inward journey for me, I think. I just feel so privileged, so blessed to be back home, to have that kind of space to, just be with my dogs, to walk, to listen to music, to swim, to chill.
So, we've
Correct.
been able to, I think, cherish simpler things of life. Things which we were
Absolutely.
not really earlier, paying attention to, or we never had the time for. I think,
Right.
yeah,
Right. Right.
great. So,
So, yeah, I mean,
so tell me something. So so you shuttle between Lucknow, Pratapgarh, and Delhi, right? These are the
Delhi,
three
yes.
cities you kind of shuttle. So
Yes,
which is your favorite city out of these three?
So I was in a boarding school. I was in Mayo. Post my schooling, I came to Delhi to do my college. I was in Venkateshwar College in Delhi. Then I worked in Delhi for a bit. I worked for 3 years with a wedding planner. Then I shuttled with few fashion choreographers, and then I came back home. So this was back in 2011 is when I made the shift of moving back home. And
Okay.
but Delhi will always be close to my heart, because all my friends are there, my friends from school who I adore. They're like family to me. So yeah, I mean, Delhi will be special to
Okay.
me
Great.
always.
Great. So Delhi has a special place for you.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so tell me something. How has your childhood been? Like, did you grew up like a normal kid, or were there certain rules being born in a royal family? How was it like?
Puneet, we've always been very regular children, and for that, I think I'll have to give the credit to my parents. Like they made sure that we are always grounded, always rooted. Nothing ever got to our heads, like especially me and my sister. I mean, if it ever did, like my mother is my moral police. She'll always crack the whip on me, but or my sister for that matter. But regular children, yeah, like as I said, I was in a boarding in Mayo, which is in Ajmer.
Yeah.
So only summers and winters we would get holidays and we would actually come back. So we would actually feel like guests in our own house. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But once I made the shift, then it was, you're a regular person living in the house, and privileges. I mean, as a child, I remember we've spent a lot of our childhood with our grandparents. So Pratapgarh is one, but my father also inherits another place named Kantit Raj Vijaypur. It's next to Mirzapur. So my great grandmother,
What
when
is
she
it?
was alive, so we used to visit her very often. So we used to have our picnics. My cousins used to come with us in the summer. It used to be a lot of fun, like going to the farms, meeting people, a lot of food being prepared, a lot of music. My buas would come down. My father has three sisters, lovely three sisters, and we're a very close knit family. So it would be a lot of fun. So it would be like one big house. It would be a lot of fun.
That's great. That's one big happy lot. So tell me
Yeah.
more about the history of Pratapgarh. We would like to know more about that.
Uh, History of Pratapgarh. Okay, so we're basically Somvanshi Rajputs. Raja Pratap Bahadur Singh Ji was one of our ancestors, my great great grandfather, who actually made the shift to the current fort that we're living in. I
Okay.
think our fort is around over 400 years old easily. He
Okay.
had four wives. So the fort is divided into the old fort and the new fort. The new fort is where we actually live, which my mother is currently renovating.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah. And also Pratapgarh is also known for on the Gangetic Plain, which my sister actually told me about this. I mean, I wasn't aware myself. They found human skeletons as big as 7 feet long, the biggest on the Gangetic Plain, dating back to your Neolithic Stone Age era. So I think, yeah, Pratapgarh
Oh,
has another feather up the cap. Yeah,
oh, oh, okay. That's very interesting. And
yeah, and
I
also
mean, I was also aware of that.
yeah, so
Okay.
Pratapgarh is agriculturally a very rich belt. So Pratapgarh is also known for rich agriculture and, of course, the political hub. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, Priyanka, tell me something, more about the fort, the Pratapgarh fort that you live in. How is the feeling like? How big is it? And, more about the cultural history of the fort.
So the fort, Puneet, the old fort where earlier the family used to live, my father has actually converted it into an all-girls school in memory of his mother, late Rani Asha Kumari Singh Ji. There are around 800 girls who schooling over there, and we have shifted to the new fort. This new fort was actually a recreational area, so there were a lot of these halls. Uh, I mean, of course, there are lots of rooms, storages. There's a pool, there's an orchard around it. Our main architecture is basically eat and mitti ki chunai. So yeah, so that's how it is.
Okay, okay. Very interesting, very interesting. So, tell me something. How do you adapt yourself when you're shuttling between different cities? Of course, New Delhi is more of a modern lifestyle, a lot of hustle bustle, and Pratapgarh is very quaint and more big and large room spaces, and you live in a fort actually. So how do you manage yourself when you kind of travel between the
Puneet,
cities?
honestly, I think me and my sister both. I think we live a dual life. It's because in school nobody really cared who you were, where you came
Yeah,
from. I mean, we love you for who
yeah,
you are. Like even
yeah,
in college or when I was working, it didn't really matter. In school, we didn't know whose parents did what and where they came from. They loved you for who you were. But now, because I'm spending a lot of time back home, so of course there's a lot of you take a lot of heed to your conduct and how you present yourself, because I
yeah,
help my father a lot because he's into public service, so I help him a lot. So of course my conduct is very different over there from how I am with my friends. With my friends I can just be myself, but when you're out in
yeah,
others,
yeah.
there's a certain persona and there's a certain aura that you need to uh, be with or deal with rather. So yeah, I mean, otherwise we're just normal regular children. Yeah, like nothing very different.
Okay. I would like to know one of your fondest memories from your childhood. Like, everyone has some fond memories
Yeah, yeah.
from,
Well, fondest memory. So see, I was a
right.
tomboy. I was a complete tomboy. My sister was more into the Barbies and the fancy. Like my buas would give her the doll houses and all. I was into guns and
Oh,
video games. Yeah, totally. So a lot of my childhood, me and my sister used to watch a lot of Walt Disney with my grandfather, and thanks to him, he was one of the main reasons who exposed us to like good music. So even when you would watch like a Peter Pan or a Dumbo or an Aladdin or a Sleeping Beauty, it wasn't just a cartoon. It was more like, oh, listen to the music. There's Beethoven or a Mozart playing. I mean, fortunately, my sister got the taste in music.
okay.
But yeah, a lot of movies. My cousins would come down. As I said, we're a very close knit family. So a lot of my buas would come down for a month or two to spend time in summers to see their grandmother. I mean, my
Okay.
great grandmother.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's
basically,
lovely.
yeah. But I would like to share one interesting story since we're discussing royal
Yeah.
experiences over here. I
Yeah.
mean, so I was working on a project in Pratapgarh. I mean, this is the sweetest memory I share with my grandfather, and close to romanticizing the whole royal bit. I was working on a project in Pratapgarh, and I needed some mitti, some soil. And so I took permission from my grandfather and father, and I said, "Can I please from that area take some mitti?" And they were like, "Yeah, please go ahead, take it." And we started digging the JCB, and it came to the side. And later there was this one little matki with silver coins in it. So that was my little treasure that I
Oh,
found. So the coin actually didn't have like your one. It was a silver coin, and it had Queen Victoria and different yeah, like 1936
that
and probably
one hell of an
yeah,
experience, I'm
dating back.
sure.
So
Like,
I asked my
never heard
grandfather.
of
I,
that kind of an experience.
sorry.
I'm saying that is one different experience altogether,
And
actually.
yeah, and I keep the coin in my wallet because I am superstitious. I believe that it's my lucky charm. Like if I have it in my wallet, I shouldn't be broke. But yeah, and I asked my grandfather, I was like, how did this pop up? And he said, apparently the area that I took out the mitti from, there were a lot of our gardeners staying there. So maybe somebody must have buried it over there. And yeah, I was fortunate to have a little memory of my own. So yeah, so that's one little sweet
That,
story to share with you.
so were there any hunting memories too? Maybe or stories that were inspired by the hunting and other things from your great ancestors or something. Your bedtime stories.
Absolutely, absolutely, Puneet. Every generation you go one notch higher, the stories just get bizarre and more romantic. But of course, there were lots of Shikar stories. But one ancestor who I really look up to was my great great grandmother, Rani Rampriya. She attended the Delhi Darbar. She used to write. She became friends with Queen Victoria, and she even gifted her a door procession of the Indian wedding, which was actually put in Windsor Palace as well. So she was a very strong
Oh,
woman. So I mean, being a woman myself, she's someone I really look up to. So yeah, she is one person for sure.
that's great. That's great. So I've also heard, Mriganka, that you've been working on an NGO which is named after your grandfather, and
Correct.
so I would like to know more about that. What is it?
Okay. So I lost my grandfather in 2013, and me and my sister, we were extremely fond of him. I mean, we were his world, and he was our world. And he was the main reason why I shifted back from Delhi to Pratapgarh, because one day he just called me up and he was like, darling, I'm cycling downhill of my life. If you want to join, you're free to join. And it was a no-brainer. I just packed my bags and the next day I was back home. So Abhay Shakti Foundation is, of course, named and is in memory of my late grandfather, Abhay Pratap Singh Ji. Abhay Shakti Foundation, we work in fields like environment, health, education, because we run education institutes ourselves. Uh,
The school that you
skill development. So we do a lot of vocational training. We do a lot of medical camps. We do a lot of awareness campaigns. We don't take funds from anyone. It's what we earn and what we can give back in our own little way. We try to do that.
oh, that's really commendable. I think, and I think
Yeah,
people
because
should be
Puneet, you know
inspired
why?
by.
Yeah, because Pratapgarh for us is just not home. It's an extended family. It's since children we've grown up. See, I mean, my great grandfather, my grandfather, and my father. I mean, they've all been public the servants. I mean, my great grandfather was a cabinet minister. He had excise, forest, jail, civil, all these ministries under him. My grandfather was a member of parliament. My father's extremely active. So I know, and the reason, the love and the respect that you get from people, it's, like my mother always says, that you're
And
privileged to
since
have
you were
what you
born and
have,
grown
but
up, yeah,
yeah, but if you really want to create a legacy, then you have to give back to the community. I mean, now because things are changing so fast and rapid, I mean, people know me right now because I am so and so's great granddaughter or granddaughter or daughter. But tomorrow, if I want a legacy of my own and if I want my name to be remembered, I will have to do something for them, and I have to go out
I
and
think
connect with them
that
instead of.
moment wherein you want your father to be known as, oh, he's Mriganka's father. That
Absolutely, that's my aim. That's totally my aim. Like I want my father to feel proud that yeah, I'm her father.
That's wonderful.
Thank
I think
you.
times are changing, and today women are even further ahead of men. I mean, gone are those days wherein
Absolutely.
that primitive thinking and thinking of that 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 whole thing of women and men not being equal. I think that's a farce now. So
Absolutely. Even I see, even in Pratapgarh, women are so progressive. Like they want to learn. Even the vocational training camps that we have, or even in our colleges. I mean, 60% of them are girls. So it's lovely. Yeah, it's very nice. It's very very nice.
So, tell me something. Lockdown is easing up. Earlier, you were in complete lockdown. So, what are your plans for the future now? What are you planning to do for next couple of months?
You mean business wise?
In general, could be
Oh,
business
in
loans.
general, so Puneet, I have Abhay Shakti Foundation, of course, which I work for, but I've also recently started a label of my own. It's called Pratapgad Collective. So we work with raw flower honey. So in 2017, I was lucky and privileged enough to meet Dr. Nitin. He's a researcher and a scientist who has researched on bees, and he's worked in countries like Israel and Germany. And yeah, we started working on raw flower honey.
That's great. I think that's great. So tell me something. You've been surrounded by a family full of humanitarian people working for for the society. So have you thought of getting into public service as a frontline worker ever?
Uh, Puneet, I'm happy to help from the background. I mean, in the background, from the back, to be a shadow to my father, you know. So, but I'm not ready right now.
Okay.
Of course, whenever I get the opportunity, I will definitely think about it. But right now, I just want to help my father because I know he works so hard and he's so dedicated. I mean, there's so many days that I don't even get to see him. You know, in the morning we greet each other, and I get to see him in the evening because there's always someone who needs
Always
him. So,
on the
yeah.
ground.
So right now is just a social initiative. But yeah, tomorrow if I feel the people think that I should get into it, and if I'm receiving love from them and support, then why not? I'll think about it.
So Mriganka, are you the eldest?
No, I have an elder sister. I'm the youngest. We are two
So
sisters. Yes.
so so
Yeah.
so you must be the pampered one then.
Not at all, Puneet. She is totally my parents' favorite child.
Okay.
But yeah. But she's also my hero, in a way because she's such a free-spirited person, like she's always the one pushing me out of my comfort zone because I tend to get very comfortable in my comfort zone. And
Okay.
she's the one who's always pushing me. Also, like I said, my grandfather had excellent taste, be it music or be it reading. So she got that from him. So, like during the lockdown as well, she was like, "How can you not read?" So she's the one pushing me into reading and stuff like that. So yeah, she's the intellectual one. I mean, I learn a lot from her. Yeah.
That's great.
But
That's
I think
great.
I'm more hardcore for sure. Yeah.
So I've asked so many serious questions from you. Now I'm gonna do a quick rapid fire sort of a thing. So it's called this or that.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be talking about two things, and you'll have to tell me which one do you prefer, right? So
Okay.
are you all ready for
Got
this?
it. Right.
Okay. So Indian or Western?
Indian or Western, you mean clothing?
Yes.
I'm actually very comfortable in Indian, to be very honest. I love my salwar kameez. Yeah, I think I'll go with Indian. Yeah.
Childhood or youth? Which one have you enjoyed the most? Mriganka
Childhood,
as a
hands down.
child or Mriganka as a young fine lady now?
Childhood.
Childhood.
Childhood, Puneet. Hands down. Yeah.
Okay. Town life or the city bus?
I enjoy both. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy both. I mean, I love the fact that I have space. I have time to myself. To do things that I want. But I miss my friends. I miss the city sometimes. So, I enjoy both.
Okay. Okay. Instagram or Facebook?
Instagram.
Okay. Netflix or Amazon Prime?
Amazon Prime has started coming out with some really cool shows. But yeah, I like both.
A foodie or a fitness freak?
Oh Lord, foodie for sure. So wait, Puneet, I would like to tell a little story over here. So for our birthdays, my mother used to actually because my birthdays would be in summers. So I mean, every morning she would do. We had to go to the mandir and we had to do a little puja. And then there would be this wing scale, those old school tarazus. So she would
Yeah.
actually make me sit, weigh me, and that amount of weight ka grains would go to the people in the village. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
But that wasn't very flattering because everybody knew how much I weighed. Actually, she was clever enough. She stopped when I was 15. Oh, I was a healthy, chubby
So
child.
you
She
stop
said, let us
that now,
stop this
or you even
flattening.
do it now? Okay.
Yeah.
So, uh, books or ebook?
You know what, Puneet? I'll have to admit, unfortunately, I'm not much of a reader.
Okay, okay, that's fine. So, one of the funniest moments that you would like to recall, being a royal, being born in a royal family.
Funny moment. Uh,
Something funny that would have happened just because
you know,
you're
I've always been a very naughty child. So I was very naughty, be it as a child back home or when I was in school or even in college. But as a royal child, I mean, we would play a lot of pranks on people. I mean, my grandfather was always aware that if she's around, there's mischief somewhere,
there's
something's
something.
happening. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I used to trouble people a lot. I used to play a lot of pranks. I was quite a brat that way. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. So, tell me, Mriganka, we've talked about your family, we've talked about everything else. Now, I would like to know more about the festivals that you celebrate. Are there special rituals that you follow? How are festivals like in Pratapgarh?
Mm, okay, so Puneet, festivals, it's like any other household, you know. I mean, my mother is very particular. My grandfather was extremely particular, like preparing the food, or my buas making sure that they take some time out and visiting us, like say a Holi. Pratapgarh and Holi used to be very big. I mean, all my buas, their cousins, my cousins, everybody. So a lot of food being prepared, a lot of music. My father, like I said, Vijaypur, his other ancestral place, he hasn't missed a Holi or a Dussehra in the last 20 years. So my mother's holding the fort back home in Pratapgarh while he's away. So, or even Diwali. So my mother, what she makes us do, I mean, this is a tradition that she started. Diwali, of course, the festivities are on, and there's food, and the domestic help is busy with lighting the diyas, or there's a puja going on. But so we have a venue named Katra Tank. That's where our forefathers or ancestors are resting. That's the resting place. So we always go there for half an hour. She makes sure that we go there. We light our diyas, we light our agarbattis, and we pay our
Okay,
respect and tribute. So
that's
yeah,
very
I mean,
sweet.
festivals are quite big at
That's very sweet. That's very sweet and heart touching, of course. So,
home.
any other special incident, anything that you would like to share with our listeners and viewers here, which is special
Uh,
to your heart?
Special. So, my great grandmother, who was from Vijaypur, again, that we have a fort over there. So she has this little garden which still exists. And she actually made that garden for her grandchildren. That would be my father and his sisters, my buas. It has a very Alice in Wonderland feel, like julas and
Okay,
little cages for her pets, and little stools. And she was extremely particular. In UP we say, we don't say tea or high tea or anything. We say chai nashta. So she would be
yeah,
very particular. Everybody had to be dressed and come down for the evening tea, and there would be a
okay,
spread. That would be her, space to spend time with the family. So yeah, I mean, there were fun times.
okay. So you've said that you're a big time foodie. Do you actually like to
Hmm.
cook as well? Is there anything that
Oh, yeah.
you?
I love to cook. I'm learning. I have never been taught, but I'm picking up, and I don't think I'm bad. So even now we eat a little light and healthy. But when my grandfather was alive, I mean, food in the Pratapgarh house was no. I mean, every evening our dinners would be so elaborate by ritual. He would take out a
Okay,
book. I mean, he never cooked himself because he was scared of fire, but every evening he would take out a book, and there were two, three recipes which were jotted down, and they were elaborately made. So our dinner would be very elaborate,
very
and lunch would
elaborate.
be very light. But yeah, I enjoy cooking. I think I'm picking up.
Okay, wonderful. I think that's amazing. It was an amazing session. So before
Thank
we close this session, any last words of positivity for everyone in this COVID scenario, where we see the world is falling and things are
Yeah.
difficult for everyone. So, any last words of positivity here?
Well, Puneet, I just think everybody, see, I'm no doctor, but I feel that the virus is here to stay for a couple of more months, unfortunately. So till the vaccine is not out, but you just need to take your precautions. You can't live in fear. But
Yeah,
just stay positive, stay healthy, just take your precautions and live life. It's okay. If you have to get it, you will get it. Just build on your immunity. That's all.
personal hygiene and precautions and right kind of sanitization is
Correct.
very important, more than ever.
Absolutely. Correct.
Okay, I think so. Thank you, Mriganka. Thank you so much
Thank you for
for
having
taking
me.
out time and
Thank you so much.
telling us these little stories from your childhood and even now.
So thank you so much. And thank you, whoever's tuned in. Please stay healthy. Please stay positive. And thank you, Puneet. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great evening. So that's Mriganka Kumari for you. I think she was absolutely kind personality. For those of you, in case you would like to know more, you can always write to us. We can shoot our questions and we can let you know. So this conversation ends here today, but then we'll be back with yet another princess, with another state, with another interesting story to narrate on our next episode, Royal Heirlooms by Puneet Gupta Crafted Fine Goods. So till then, stay home, stay safe.